Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. We're talking about a very important meeting coming up this weekend, focusing on making your voices heard. Here with us today is NAACP Saginaw branch. I'm so happy to have you, Carl Williams. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about this meeting. What is so important about this meeting that's coming up? What it is and what it's about?
The NAACP has monthly community meetings where we try and disseminate different information to people. In the past, organizations such as ours has used agitation to make people aware and to change things in terms of the quality of life of people. But we found out that information is a really valuable tool. So each month we rotate churches and we have our community meetings. And this month, March 1st, we're going to have our meeting at Messiah Missionary Baptist Church, 2615 Williamson Road, and we're going to be talking about two critical issues for 2020, the elections and census.
Now, tell us why you're focusing on those important issues. First of all, the census. Why is that so important?
We try to bring it home to people to make them understand how not being counted affects them, and we let them know that education, Pell Grants, early childhood is involved, WIC is involved, Bridge Cards, those organizations that have to deal with food and nutrition, all that's involved all the way down to your representative for Congress and how districts are drawn. All that is gleaned from the census.
Okay, you know what? Talk to me about this, Carl. We're in the midst of the heated debate season, the election season. People are complaining about this and that, but you can't complain if you don't vote or get involved. So tell us how important you're going to place on people about getting involved in the election, getting involved in the process.
I always tell people, if you don't vote, you just did.
Okay.
In terms
I like that.
It's true.
It is.
It's true. When you don't vote, you say, I'm going to let someone else completely control my life. A lot of things that people sometimes complain about wouldn't be there if they would just vote. And this vote is critical because we're talking about voting for our president, our next president. We're talking about voting for people in the House of Representatives in Congress, down to our local and state leaders. It is so very, very important.
And I know also at the meeting that's coming up this weekend, Vanessa Guerra, she's going to be speaking. Representative, tell us about what she will be addressing the crowd.
We're going to have Mike Hanley, our county clerk, and Vanessa Guerra, our state representative, both to come in to give us an overview of the election. And some of the census. There are some important things about the election that people should know. Changes legislatively, like straight ticket voting is now back. Same-day registration is there. Absentee voting for no reason at all now. All that, people need to know that because it will make a big difference in terms of whether they will actually show up or not.
Sure. And you know, we are coming to the end of Black History Month. What else is on the agenda for the NAACP? What else do you have on the horizon?
Every month we have a community meeting, and we have a mandate from our national for what we call game changers. And it ranges from health to criminal justice. And we deal with all of those in terms of disseminating information to people that they didn't know before that can help.
Anything else you'd like to add that we have not talked about that you think is important about the elections, the census? Just get out and vote, let your voices be heard. Don't complain unless, you know, you get out there and do something about it, right?
That's exactly right. In terms of the census, we stand to lose $1,800 a person annually if they are not counted, and that goes into the millions if you multiply that by 10 years. Same with the state. There's a potential of losing $1 billion in 10 years. People need to vote because it actually affects their everyday life. When I was a legislator, I used to tell people, you need to vote because people in the legislature tell you how fast you can go down the highway. People really, really take charge of your life, so you need to make sure that people who will look out for your interests are there.
That's a great message. Let your voices be heard, get out and vote, and be counted. Thank you so much, Carl, for joining us.
Thank you.
If you would like any information about this weekend's event, you just check out the hot link section on WNEM.com.